Well, hello everyone. This is Chrystal Lynn, Cowgirlastrologer. I want to thank you for joining me tonight. I'm really excited to get to announce our chart reading winner from last week's video. If you guys had a chance to watch it, I put out a little special on my Pluto in Virgo video, the Jesus movement. If you guys haven't seen it, I want to really encourage you to watch it because I really believe it has a lot to do with what is going on today and the changes that are happening in our world. And it's really exciting when we can begin to study the outer planets, because in the outer planets we can really see what we're here to do in a very unique way as a collective. So I will be talking a lot more about these topics in the up and coming series. But my question, because we were talking about the Pluto and Virgo generation, which was from 1957 to 1972. And so I asked, who could give me a Beatles song from 1967? Just kind of threw it in there during those years. And I got several comments, so thanks, you guys. Let's see. Some of them that we had was Penny Lane, All You Need Is Love, Sgt. Pepper Lonely Heart Club Band, and our winner tonight, which was the first one to get it up there, the winner was Hello Goodbye from the Beatles. And I'm not going to mention her name because I didn't tell her if I was going to do that or not. But the birthday that I'm going to be doing tonight is March 22nd, 1968. Okay, so if you guys want to look that up, we do have a Capricorn rising here. So this is really a fascinating chart. So I want to talk to you guys a little bit about chart reading. I do offer chart reading on my website. I can do one-on-one Skype reading or Google Hangout where we can record the reading. Those are 1-hour readings. Or I do a 15-minute intuitive reading based upon your questions to me. And I also do a 30-minute. So it kind of depends on what, how much information, how many questions you want to ask. So this reading that I'm going to do right now is going to be like an example of my 15-minute readings. And this will be a very intuitive reading because since she does not know that she won, and she'll be finding out right now, I wasn't able to gather any specific questions. So I'm just going to go by what I see in the chart. Now, astrology readings are all unique and different. Okay, everybody who is an astrologer, who reads, we all have our own unique way, how we see the story unfold. And that's why it's kind of fun to get different readings from different people that you trust, to get different perspectives. That's one reason. So today, I'm just going to show you a little bit about my style of reading charts and what comes out, okay? And then you guys can kind of decide if, that's something you'd be interested in. That's what keeps us struggling artists here out on YouTube. So if you do want to have a reading with me, I do have some specials. So tonight, we're going to be looking at this really cool chart. Like I said, March 22nd, 1968. Okay. Now, the first thing I do when I'm looking at a chart is I really look to see, obviously, we look for where's the ascendant, where's the sun, where's the moon. That should be the first thing that really stands out because that is the primary personality that we're going to see. This also dictates some of the stronger themes that play out in a person's life. So that's one of the first things, obviously, that I let speak to me. And in this particular chart, we have a really interesting lineup because we have a moon in Capricorn and an ascendant in Capricorn. And these are kind of rare. At least I don't see a lot of them when you have the ascendant and the moon in the same sign. Now, we know that the ascendant is really what sets our life path. It also is what other people see in us first. So when you have a moon and rising combination, you have a very strong signature of that sign. So it's kind of like you can't hide it. I also have this with a rising and a moon in Pisces, and sometimes it's really hard because you don't have, this place like your moon sign that really is your soul. It's kind of your hidden place. It's the place that, you maybe let certain people see in you. But when your ascendant and your moon are in the same sign, there's no hiding. This is a very powerful energy. So that stands out to me a lot here. The other thing, and I'll go into a little bit more detail, but the other thing in this chart, and again, you guys aren't seeing it, but I am, is that really stands out to me, is we have a Sun, Mars, Saturn, and North Node in Aries. And that energy is headed towards the 3rd house. Now, anytime I see that particular lineup, Sun, Mars, Saturn, and the North Node lined up together, you want to take notice. This is a very powerful direction, a very powerful chart, a very determined person, somebody that's got a lot of energy that they're navigating. With the Capricorn rising and the moon in Capricorn, it's really trying to keep a handle on this kind of energy, because Capricorns typically, really want to keep things, very compartmentalized, and they don't do well showing their emotions. And here we have this other side of us, okay, that's Aries, and strong, powerful energy, because Sun, Mars together is explosive. When you get this energy going in a direction, what you can accomplish is absolutely amazing. Now, something caught my thoughts, because I am familiar with a lot of celebrities born in '68, which is also the year I was born. And I had to think a minute, but 2 celebrities caught my attention that were also born the same week as you. Okay, this is important, you guys. This is kind of the fun part of astrology, if you want to take it that far, where you're looking at people who are born the same day as you, or the same week as you, because these are certain configurations that are happening. And when I see a chart like this, I want to know what kind of powerhouses are out there that we can see as examples. 2 powerhouses. Celine Dion, she was born March 30th, and Kenny Chesney, okay, he was born March 26th. Now, this chart I'm looking at is on the 22nd. So, yes, we have different moon signs and we have different rising signs, but what we have is we see the power of when you see this kind of lineup come together with Sun, Mars, Saturn, and North Node. These 2 people out here, caught the musical celebrity bug that week, but what they do with that energy, to do what they do and to travel and the music and so you embody the same type of energy. Okay. So what, I didn't get the chance to talk to you and get any questions about what's going on in your life. So I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, this is somebody that has such huge amounts of potential, but that has also been through a lot of changes. So we need to look to see what's going on there. The other thing that's super powerful about this chart is that we have Mercury and Venus in Pisces. So you notice this little combination that we have going on here. We have this, double Capricorn ascendant moon with this double Aries, Sun and Mars, and we have this Mercury, Venus, and Pisces. This is the depth of the chart here, of the energies that you embody every single day, that you're navigating the Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars in the chart. I'm not even getting into the outer planets, but we're seeing that, you have, you know, a lot going on because you're an empath, okay? You are an empath. With the double Pisces, you're healer. You know, and when you look at like Celine Dion, who also carries this double Pisces, you know, you see this compassion in her and this emotion in her music. But then you also see her with that Aries up there, and she's just like, you know, this little athlete, this little dynamite. She's got something to say. And so navigating Aries Pisces energy, to bring that together, you have to understand the depth of who you are. With Mercury and Venus in Pisces, you see through the veil. You have that spiritual connection. Whatever you touch, whatever you put your hands on, put your emotions in, you can manifest. And with this strong Aries, we've got this leader. We have this life coach. We have this, you know, you could be any kind of coach, but the Aries is the coach. They are the initiators. They don't need somebody else to help them get started. They are the originators. It comes from within. And so you have this ability. And then you have this also in your North Node. Okay. Now, when we look at our South Node, North Node, you guys, you really, at least in my personal experience and experience in talking to a lot of people in charts, is you really see this energy starting to become activated after your first Saturn. So the first half of your life, if you have a South Node in Libra, this is a person that's constantly trying to find harmony and peace and fulfillment with other people, with groups of other people, with partners. And it's almost like this frustrating pursuit. And that's not to say you don't look back and have these amazing relationships, okay? They are possible, but when the North Node gets activated, it really becomes about being your own sustaining creative force. And if people come alongside to encourage and help you, that's awesome. But if they don't, that's awesome. It's okay. Those of us who were born with Saturn and Aries, all right, really struggle with our identity, really claiming an identity. It's almost like we go through these different identity crises where either we're too confident and we blow everybody out of the water, or we're not confident enough and people steal our identity. Okay, they want what you have, but we somehow don't see it. And Saturn here really spends a lifetime teaching us about who we are. And it becomes a lifelong pursuit, really, to be okay with yourself, to feel all those feelings that everybody else talks about, like you need to be worthy and you need to feel wonderful and you need to love yourself. Well, Saturn and Aries, that's really a foreign concept. We want it. We know we have the power to do it, but it becomes a struggle. Because to really be this initiator, to be this leader, there has to be this balance of humility and yet confidence. And it takes us a long time to figure that out. So when we look at all this energy, the Sun, Mars, Saturn, North Node, and Aries, I keep going back to that because intuitively, as I'm working and looking at this chart, the message really here is it's going towards the third house. The third house rules your communication, rules your community, rules your advertising, marketing, writing, again, community. So when I look at this chart, I ask myself, North Node being your calling, which is being activated as we speak more than ever in your lifetime, is pointing towards your community. It's pointing towards, people that you can touch, that small town. And you are a leader there. Siblings, cousins, family members. Where do you fit in? Okay, hold on, you guys. We have to have a donkey going off in the background. He hears me talking. So we're going to try to ignore him. Some people have dogs barking. I have a donkey barking. So my question to you is, you're probably right now at this time in your life going, okay, I have all these years of experience. I've been there, done that. I worked hard with a Capricorn rising and a moon in Capricorn. I already know you've been working from a very, very, very young age. You know what it's like to work hard. And when you look at what's going on up in the sky right now, that's what's so amazing about this reading right now, is because we have Uranus in Aries. This is a 7-year transit. So here you have all this Aries in your chart. So for the last few years, Uranus has been coming in and completely flipping your world upside down. Everything you thought you knew, everything that you were clinging to. Again, I go back to speaking to me, the double Capricorn, tradition, security, financial security, may have been completely flipped upside down. Okay. I talked the other night in my Virgo and Pluto video about the last few years for our generation, because we had Uranus and Pisces opposing the Virgo generation, the Pluto and Virgo generation. We had Saturn in 2007 to 2009 hitting us hard. So if you're like my generation, like me, like some of the things I've gone through and what we've gone through as a collective, we've had to completely look at our lives completely different. Who are we now? And it is about taking our life's experience. The other thing that's going on right now is Pluto is in Capricorn. And this is, 20-year transit. So this is going to continue on, I believe, to like 2025. And this has been going on the last few years as well. So here, interestingly enough, we have Pluto in Capricorn as we speak. Pluto really blows things up. It really examines things. So here it's examining all of our systems, all of our foundations, everything we've built our lives on. And the things that are built in sand that aren't working anymore are being revealed. And as our structures fall apart, there's one sign in the zodiac that's being ignited and fueled and given the wisdom to help rebuild it from behind. And that's our Capricorns. So you have a very, very, very important calling to help rebuild the systems. With Uranus and Aries, everything you've ever known is being, completely taken out of your comfort zone. You're being shaken to the core, but new beliefs are coming forth. Who you are, you're finally able to speak your truth. And we have Neptune in Pisces, fueling Mercury, your mind, Venus, the things you love, opening up your creative and intuitive abilities beyond belief. So now the question becomes, what are you going to do with all this? And so we're all in this boat right now. But I think it's really exciting when I look at your chart. I'll say a few more things here. Jupiter in Leo, retrograde. You actually were born during 4 retrogrades, which we know is kind of rare. So you were born with Jupiter, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto retrograde. And a lot of times, and I tell people this all the time, When I see a lot of retrogrades like this, these are the people working behind the scenes. This is the songwriter working for, working for a band. This is somebody who, knows how to do the behind the scene work. It doesn't make you any less valuable. Me right now on YouTube doing this reading is a behind the scene kind of thing. So retrogrades just take us deeper. You're a deeper thinker. You might be harder on yourself. With Jupiter and Leo, often, it's that person who really wants to get out there. But you might be, again, seeing all this activity around your community. You might be very well known in your community. People look up to you. You try to keep those things together. You have a big heart. It's learning to navigate the strong energies in your chart, because with Aries Capricorn, that's a square. So you have this, run through the front lines, and at the same time, hold it all together. And then inside, with all this Pisces energy, it's a lot of turbulence, because you're holding in a lot of emotions. If people really knew how in depth you were, they'd have to really get to know you. So, the Aries has no problem being a fire sign. Sun, Mars, wants to get that attention, wants that energy, wants those results, wants to be around others, wants to be that coach. So you're navigating these things. But when it comes to money, the Capricorn, money does follow the Capricorn. Money, structure, you might have lost it all, but this is a chart that will regain it. Again, with that crazy lineup, I'm telling you guys, look in your charts. It's hard to, don't see it very often. Sun, Mars, Saturn, North Node conjunction. Okay, so this gives you huge amounts of energy to make your dream come true. Look at the people born in your week. You see it happening. Because of the double Capricorn, and because Pluto's been in Capricorn, there's a lot of things that make this all sound so good, but the reality of our bodies adjusting to the planetary changes is very difficult. Pluto can be high anxiety. Uranus can be, like you feel like, you've got electricity going through you all the time. And Neptune and Pisces might just have you going around in circles. So when I look at this and I see this power chart and I see this person that can do all this amazing stuff, I also look and say, you've got a lot going on up in the sky that's directly fueling you and changing you. It's this complete transformation. It's like, a birth, a death, and a rebirth. But here's the good news. You're getting into this place now that Uranus and Aries is literally conjunct your North Node. And Uranus, when I think of Uranus, sometimes I think of like a U-turn, like making things right that needed to be made right. I think of it as, it's like you're going one way and it's just not working. And all of a sudden, boom, lightning bolt experience. Somebody comes in your life, opens the door. You don't even know how you got over here now. That's the kind of energy that is just surrounding you right now. It's miraculous. Okay. Neptune is in Pisces at about 11 degrees right now. And you have low degrees, Mercury and Venus. So, anything that's within about 5 degrees. Yeah. So you're still really, Neptune has been going over your chart also for the last few years. Now, I have this same thing going on in my chart, and it's amazing for incredible ideas, for inspiration beyond belief. But a lot of times we see things before their time, and it's so easy to get frustrated or get distracted, or again, dealing with anxiety, dealing with depression, dealing with a lot of turbulent emotional energy. you know, I don't like to, you know, use astrology just to blame our every thought and move on. Although sometimes it's, you know, you wonder. But at the same time, if we can kind of understand that we're going through a big change for a purpose that we're, yeah, heading towards. And in the meantime, we have to be kind of like cross training for our lives. We have to be taking care of ourselves. We have to be, you know, not maybe doing some of the things we used to be able to do. With the South Node in Libra, I know you probably were able to be around large groups of people. You know, you might have done things that had, you know, big events. And now you're finding yourself just wanting to be more solitude, more quiet, more calm. That is that transition that we're going through. It's because the universe is asking us not to do more, but to do more quality in our lives, to specialize. And you embody such a powerful amount of energy. And the greatest gift you could give yourself is to really self-nurture, take care of yourself, and get your mind focused on what it is that your calling is, what makes you the happiest when you are doing that thing that's been in your heart from a very young girl that maybe you pushed away so many times, to really narrow this down and to really say, because you can make a difference in this world. And sometimes don't we feel like, you know, there's just, can we really make a difference? But we're all given that gift, that ability, and you can change lives. You can change a lot of lives. You're going through these changes right now, the next couple of years. You know, we do have Saturn coming into Capricorn next in 2018, and get excited about that. Well, I know a lot of people are nervous about Saturn, but you're really being asked to pull this together now. And to really, like I said, it's like being a warrior for your own life. And I really would be excited to find out what it is you're doing and what kind of ideas and thoughts you have, because you've got that whole creative genius thing going as well. So how do we take the energies that we were born with and embrace them all? Don't resent anything about your chart. You were born at that exact minute for that exact reason. Sometimes we think, oh, I wish I wasn't born during that or during this, or I didn't have, you know, my moon in the 12th or my this and the that. You know what? It's all beautiful. It's how you use it. Unfortunately, you know, we can allow the negative things of life to get in there and to really weigh us down, or maybe make us feel like, you know, I don't have one more in me. But I will tell you, those of us right now born during this time are being asked to be the healers. We are the ones that use our hands in a very special way. And we are being asked to step up and be the wisdom for the generations coming up. They still need a little bit of our old school, and we need them. So, you know, as you can see, I can go on and on. This, again, was just kind of more off the cuff reading, because I haven't really talked to this person. So I hope some of the stuff I said tonight is valuable, get you thinking. And yeah, like I said, I really like to see what kind of direction that you've got on your heart, because you've got what it takes for it to be really successful. So we're getting close, putting it all together. Okay, you guys. So, well, thank you very much. Again, check out my website. I do have readings available, and I can also send you an audio reading. Those are kind of cool too. So let me know, and I will be doing some more up and coming discussions on the generational planets. So if you guys have any specific questions, you know, please put them below. And if you like this free chart reading and you're interested, maybe I'll do another one soon for you guys. Okay? So have an awesome night, you guys. And thank you for letting me read your chart.